Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare quarter-dollar coins, cause some of these coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're going to focus on one of the most intriguing coins in modern U.S. coinage, the Washington quarter from 1967. At first glance, it might look like a standard quarter you've used hundreds of times, but if you look closer, you'll see that this coin holds surprises that collectors dream about. So sit back, pay close attention, and let's explore why the 1967 Washington quarter has captivated the hearts of collectors for decades. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1967, it had been circulating for 35 years, but it remained the standard bearer of American quarters, showing the portrait of the first president on its obverse and the iconic eagle on the reverse. This 1967 quarter, however, comes from a very special period in U.S. minting history. This was the first year since 1964 that circulating quarters were struck without silver. Due to the rising price of silver and the coin shortage of the mid-1960s, the mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition. This shift was significant. It marked a new era in U.S. coinage and set the stage for a series of coins that would remain in circulation for decades. Looking closely at the design, the obverse features the strong and dignified profile of George Washington, crafted by John Flanagan. "In God We Trust" arches proudly to the left, while the word liberty graces the right side. The date 1967 is displayed prominently, and because this was a transitional period for the mint, there is no mint mark on these coins. From 1965 to 1967, mint marks were intentionally removed to discourage hoarding during the coin shortage, making these no mint mark quarters distinctive. For collectors today, the lack of a mint mark becomes a clue to the coin's historical context and adds to its collectible appeal. On the reverse, we find the classic heraldic eagle design, also created by Flanagan. The eagle spreads its wings wide across the coin, perched on a bundle of arrows with two olive branches beneath, symbolizing readiness and peace. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" circle the top of the coin, while the denomination quarter dollar anchors the bottom. It's a design that feels both timeless and authoritative, capturing the essence of American symbolism. What makes the 1967 Washington quarter truly interesting for collectors? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and error coins. While billions of quarters were struck during this year, very few have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins that remain brilliant with full original luster are rare, and their value increases dramatically when graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. A quarter in MS 65 or higher is a sought-after find, and the highest grade examples are exceedingly scarce. But condition alone isn't the only factor. Some 1967 quarters feature fascinating minting errors that make them extremely desirable. For example, double die varieties can occasionally be found. In these cases, you might notice doubling on the inscriptions such as Liberty or E Pluribus Unum, or even subtle doubling along the date. While subtle doubling requires a magnifying glass to detect, strong double dies are bold and unmistakable, instantly transforming an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Another rare variety is the off-center strike, where the design of the quarter doesn't fully land on the planchet. Some off-center coins are only partially struck, leaving dramatic blank spaces that make each one unique. Clipped planchets are also possible, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to an imperfect cut at the mint. Each clipped coin is one of a kind and highly collectible. Die cracks, cuds, and repunch details also occur on 1967 quarters, though they are less common. Die cracks appear as raised lines or irregularities on the surface, while cuds form when a piece of the die breaks off, leaving a raised blob of metal. Repunched elements, though rare on quarters, sometimes occur on the date or on other design elements, and these tiny anomalies make each affected coin special. The story of the 1967 Washington quarter is also one of historical significance. This was a time when the U.S. economy was shifting, coin hoarding was a serious concern, and changes in metal composition created coins that were technically easy to miss, yet fascinating to discover. For collectors, each 1967 quarter tells a story of its era. The careful eyes of mint workers, the scarcity of silver, and the tiny details that make a coin stand out from the billions of others produced. Collectors often search through boxes of change or old coin rolls hoping to find that one special 1967 quarter that stands apart. And sometimes, those searches pay off in spectacular fashion. Among these quarters, rare high-grade examples or coins with unique errors can command extraordinary sums at auction, capturing the attention of serious numismatists. The thrill of discovery and the story behind each coin are just as exciting as the value itself. And now, the moment every coin enthusiast has been waiting for. While most 1967 quarters remain worth just 25 cents, the rarest, most pristine, and error-struck examples have shocked collectors with incredible values. In fact, one exceptional 1967 Washington quarter has reached the astounding price of $86,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single quarter from 1967, something most people carry without a second thought, has been valued at $86,000. It's a reminder that sometimes even the smallest coins can hold the biggest secrets and the greatest treasures. Top 2, we're going to take a deep dive into a coin that many of you might have handled hundreds of times without realizing its true potential. The Washington quarter from 1968. On the surface, it may appear ordinary, just another 25-cent piece. But if you look closer, the 1968 quarter has a fascinating story to tell, one filled with history, minting secrets, and rare varieties that can make it incredibly valuable. The Washington quarter has been a mainstay of American coinage since its introduction in 1932, commemorating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1968, this iconic coin had been circulating for decades, but that year was significant in the history of U.S. coinage. This was a time when the mint was returning to normalcy after the coin shortage of the mid-1960s. Mint marks had been temporarily removed from coins between 1965 and 1967 to prevent hoarding, but in 1968, the mint marks returned. That means coins from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco could now be identified with P, D, or S marks, adding a layer of interest for collectors trying to track down every variation on the obverse of the coin. We see the classic profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. His stoic expression, the careful detailing of his hair, and the overall elegance of the portrait have made it one of the most recognizable images on U.S. currency. Above his head, the words "In God We Trust" are clearly inscribed, while Liberty sits to the left and the date 1968 with its mint mark to the right. The area around the date and mint mark is especially important for collectors because this is where many of the most valuable varieties and errors can appear. The reverse features the traditional heraldic eagle design, also created by Flanagan. The eagle's wings are spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with two olive branches beneath, symbolizing a balance between strength and peace. United States of America and E pluribus unum circle the top of the coin, while quarter dollar anchors the bottom. Though this design might seem straightforward, it is full of intricate details that come to life on well-struck coins and are essential for evaluating errors and condition. The 1968 Washington quarter is particularly exciting for collectors because of its combination of rarity, high-grade survivors, and notable minting errors. While billions of these coins were produced, only a small fraction survive in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins that retain their original luster, with sharp details and minimal contact marks, are highly sought after. Mint state coins graded MS 65 or higher are extremely rare, and those graded MS 67 or above are almost legendary among collectors. One of the most famous error types from 1968 is the doubled die variety. Some coins show clear doubling on the inscriptions, including Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or even the date itself. Strong double dies are visually striking, almost as if the coin's design has been stamped twice, slightly misaligned. Collectors highly prize these coins because each one is essentially one of a kind. Other fascinating errors from 1968 include off-center strikes, where the design doesn't fully land on the planchet, leaving dramatic blank areas. Clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to an irregularly cut blank, are also highly collectible. Die breaks and cuds occasionally appear, creating raised blobs or irregular lines on the coin's surface. Each of these variations adds a unique character to a coin that might otherwise seem ordinary. The return of mint marks in 1968 also introduced some interesting varieties. Repunched mint marks, especially on Denver and San Francisco coins, occurred when the mint marks were hand-punched into the dies. Sometimes the D or S appears doubled, tripled, or misaligned, creating subtle but highly collectible differences between coins. Even minor differences in the strike, planchet, or die can dramatically affect value, especially in top-grade examples. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are another area of interest. While they were produced in smaller numbers than circulation coins, proof coins have sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. In exceptional condition, especially with doubled dies or other anomalies, proof coins can command significant premiums. Collectors prize proof coins for their perfection, and any error or variety on these coins makes them even more valuable. But beyond the minting details, condition remains a key factor. Most 1968 quarters in circulation have worn over 50 years of use, often showing brown surfaces and flattened details. Yet the rare mint state red examples that still display their original luster are gems in the world of coin collecting. These coins are increasingly difficult to find, making them highly sought after in auctions and private sales. The 1968 Washington quarter also represents an important historical moment. It was produced at a time when the U.S. economy was adjusting to changes in coin composition and circulation patterns. These quarters capture a snapshot of American history, reflecting both the nation's financial adjustments and the artistry of mid-20th century coin design. Each coin carries not only the story of George Washington, but also the subtle narrative of the minting process, the collector's hunt, and the survival of rare examples across decades. Now, after exploring all the design details, minting quirks, and historical context, it's time for the moment every coin enthusiast has been waiting for. While most 1968 Washington quarters remain worth just 25 cents, the rarest, highest-grade examples with notable errors have achieved incredible prices in the collector market. Among these exceptional coins, one particularly remarkable 1968 quarter has reached the astonishing value of $83,000. Yes, a single Washington quarter from 1968, which might have once been casually dropped into a pocket or left in a drawer, has become worth $83,000. It's an incredible reminder that sometimes the most unassuming coins can hold immense value and historical significance. So the next time you come across a 1968 Washington quarter, take a closer look. Examine the date, check for mint marks, look for doubling or other errors, and consider the condition. You may be holding more than a coin. You might be holding a rare piece of history and a potential treasure. Top 3, we're exploring a coin that might look like just another quarter from your change, but is actually a remarkable piece of American numismatic history, the 1969 Washington quarter. At first glance, it may seem like any other 25-cent coin, but if you take a closer look, you'll find that this small coin holds surprises that can captivate collectors and historians alike. Sit back, pay attention, and enjoy this detailed journey into the world of one of the most intriguing quarters ever struck. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1969, it had been circulating for decades, but that year holds particular significance. After a period from 1965 to 1967, when mint marks were removed to discourage hoarding during the coin shortage, 1968 and 1969 saw the return of mint marks, making it easier for collectors to identify where each coin was struck. Coins from the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints can be identified with the letters P, D, or S, adding a layer of interest and complexity for those building complete collections. That on the obverse of the coin, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The design captures his dignity and determination, with the words "In God We Trust" arching above, liberty on the left, and the date 1969 with its mint mark to the right. This area around the date and mint mark is especially important, as it is here that many of the most valuable errors and varieties appear. Even subtle differences in the punch or alignment can make a significant difference in the value of the coin. The reverse of the coin features the traditional heraldic eagle design, also created by Flanagan. The eagle, wings outstretched, perches on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing a balance of readiness and peace. The inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum circle the top, while quarter dollar anchors the bottom. The detailing in the feathers and arrows, especially on well-struck coins, is remarkable, and it is precisely these details that help collectors identify varieties and errors. What makes the 1969 Washington quarter especially fascinating for collectors is its combination of rarity, condition, and notable minting errors. While billions of quarters were produced in 1969, very few have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins that maintain their original luster, with sharp details and minimal contact marks, are highly desirable. Mint state coins graded MS 65 or higher are rare, and the most exceptional examples are even harder to find. Among the most famous errors from 1969 is the doubled die variety. On these coins, you can see doubling on the inscriptions such as Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or even the date itself. Strong double dies are immediately noticeable, giving the coin a bold, almost three-dimensional appearance. These errors are incredibly prized because they are both rare and visually striking, instantly distinguishing the coin from its common counterparts. Other errors also make the 1969 Washington quarter a collector's dream. Off-center strikes, where the design is shifted dramatically, create coins that are truly one-of-a-kind. Clipped planchets, in which a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to an irregularly cut blank, are also highly valuable. Die cracks, cuds, and repunched mint marks occasionally appear, creating subtle or dramatic irregularities that further enhance a coin's uniqueness and collectible appeal. The return of mint marks in 1969 also produced interesting varieties. Repunched mint marks, especially on Denver and San Francisco coins, resulted in letters that appeared doubled or misaligned, adding another layer of intrigue for collectors. Even minor differences in the strike, metal flow, or die preparation can create coins that are unique, rare, and highly sought after. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are another area of interest. While fewer were produced than circulation coins, proofs have a mirror-like finish and sharp details that make them highly attractive. When a proof coin exhibits a doubled die, repunched mint mark, or other anomaly, its value can increase dramatically. Collectors prize these coins not only for their perfection but also for their scarcity. Condition is just as critical as variety. Many 1969 quarters in circulation show wear from decades of use, often losing their luster and detail. In contrast, mint state red examples, which retain their original brilliant finish, are extremely rare and command high prices in the collector market. The combination of high grade, rarity, and any minting anomaly can transform an ordinary coin into a highly valuable treasure. The 1969 Washington quarter also reflects a moment in U.S. history when coin collecting was becoming more popular, and the mint was producing coins with greater attention to collector appeal. These coins are more than currency. They are artifacts that tell the story of the nation, the mint, and the collectors who treasure them. Each coin carries a small piece of history, a tangible connection to the era in which it was struck and the people who held it before us. And now, after exploring all the history, design, and fascinating errors, it's time to reveal the part every coin collector loves: the value. While most 1969 Washington quarters are worth just 25 cents, the rarest and highest grade examples, especially those with prominent errors, can achieve incredible prices. Among these extraordinary coins, one exceptional 1969 Washington quarter has reached the remarkable price of $80,000. Yes, a single quarter from 1969, a coin so commonly overlooked in daily life, has proven to be worth $80,000. It's an incredible reminder that sometimes the most unassuming coins can hold immense value, history, and intrigue. So the next time you come across a 1969 Washington quarter, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look at the date, the mint mark, the sharpness of the details, and any possible errors. You could be holding not just a coin, but a rare piece of American history and a potential treasure. Top for we are taking a close look at a coin that seems ordinary but holds fascinating secrets for those who know where to look. The 1972 Washington quarter. At first glance, it's just a 25-cent piece, a coin you might find in your change. But if you take a closer look, you'll discover that this quarter carries history, artistry, and rare variations that can make it extremely valuable. Coin collectors and history enthusiasts alike will find today's story particularly exciting. So listen carefully and enjoy every detail. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1972, it had become a familiar part of American life, used in every corner of the country. The quarter's obverse features the iconic profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. His composed and dignified portrait is flanked by the words "Liberty" on the left, "In God We Trust" above, and the date 1972 with its mint mark on the right. The mint marks are significant for collectors because they indicate where the coin was struck: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S. On the reverse, Flanagan heraldic eagle spreads its wings majestically, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" circle the top of the coin, while quarter dollar anchors the bottom. At first glance, it may seem like a simple design, but for collectors, it is full of subtle details that reveal minting errors, doubling, or variations that can dramatically affect value. One of the most compelling aspects of the 1972 Washington quarter is the combination of rarity and condition. While millions of these quarters were minted and circulated, only a small fraction survive in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins that retain their original luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks are highly sought after. Mint state coins graded MS 65 or higher are rare, and those with even higher grades are extremely scarce, making them a prized find for any collector. Some of the most fascinating varieties from 1972 include double die errors. On these coins, you might notice bold doubling on the inscriptions such as "Liberty," "Indiana God We Trust," or even the date itself. Unlike faint doubling that is hard to see, strong double dies are visually striking and can immediately transform an ordinary coin into a valuable collector's piece. These coins are highly coveted because each one is unique and represents a moment when the minting process produced something unexpected. Other errors from 1972 are equally intriguing. Off-center strikes, where part of the design does not fully land on the planchet, create coins that are visually dramatic and one-of-a-kind. Clipped planchets, where a section of the coin is missing due to irregular blanks, are also highly prized. Die breaks, cuds, and repunched mint marks occasionally appear, each adding character and uniqueness to the coin. These varieties make the 1972 Washington quarter an exciting coin for collectors to hunt for, examine, and add to their collections. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are another area of interest. While fewer were produced than circulation coins, proofs are sharp, mirror-like, and visually stunning. When a proof coin exhibits a double die or another anomaly, its value can increase dramatically. Collectors prize proofs not only for their perfection but also for their rarity, making them especially desirable in today's numismatic market. Condition remains a critical factor in determining value. Most 1972 quarters in circulation have worn surfaces and diminished details due to decades of handling. However, mint state red examples, which maintain their original brilliance, are extremely rare. These coins are highly sought after because they are a glimpse into how the coin appeared when it first left the mint. For collectors, finding a high-grade 1972 quarter with exceptional luster can feel like discovering a hidden treasure. The 1972 Washington quarter also represents an important period in U.S. coinage history. This was a time when coin collecting was becoming increasingly popular, and collectors were paying close attention to varieties and errors. The mint continued to experiment with dies and striking methods, producing coins with subtle differences that make each year's issues unique. Holding a 1972 quarter is not just holding money. It's holding a piece of history, a piece of American heritage, and a coin that has survived over 5 decades of use and interest. Collectors often search through boxes of quarters, old coin rolls, and even loose change, hoping to find that one coin that stands out. And when a rare 1972 quarter with a significant error or in exceptional condition is discovered, it can command extraordinary prices. The thrill of discovery and the story behind each coin is as valuable as the coin itself. Each high-grade or error-struck quarter carries a narrative that connects the collector to the mint, to history, and to the generations that used the coin before it became a collectible. And now, after exploring all the history, design intricacies, and exciting minting errors, it's time to reveal the part every coin enthusiast waits for: the value. While most 1972 Washington quarters are worth just 25 cents, the rarest and most exceptional examples, particularly those with prominent errors or in top-grade condition, can achieve staggering sums. Among these extraordinary coins, one remarkable 1972 Washington quarter has reached the astounding value of $78,000. Yes, a single quarter from 1972, something most people consider ordinary, has proven to be worth $78,000. It's an incredible reminder that even the smallest coins can hold tremendous value, history, and intrigue. So the next time you come across a 1972 Washington quarter, take a closer look. Examine the date, mint mark, condition, and potential errors. You may be holding not just a coin, but a rare piece of American history and a potential treasure. Top 5. We're exploring a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but to collectors, it holds incredible fascination and potential value. The 1974 Washington quarter. This small 25-cent coin is one that millions of Americans have handled over the years, but few realize the story, rarity, and excitement that can be found within a single 1974 quarter. So, stay with me and enjoy this journey into the world of numismatics as we uncover the secrets behind this remarkable coin. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, and by 1974, it had become an iconic fixture of American coinage. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, capturing his strength, dignity, and calm determination. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty" on the left, "In God We Trust" above, and the date 1974 on the right, accompanied by its mint mark, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. The mint mark alone is significant to collectors because it identifies where the coin was struck and often plays a crucial role in determining rarity and value. On the reverse side, we find the classic heraldic eagle design, also created by Flanagan. The eagle's wings are spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches beneath. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" encircle the top, while quarter dollar anchors the bottom. While it may seem like a standard design, the detail in the feathers, arrows, and olive branches is highly relevant to collectors because it allows them to spot subtle variations, doubling, or minting anomalies that can dramatically impact a coin's value. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1974 Washington quarter is its combination of rarity, condition, and potential errors. Although millions of these quarters were minted and circulated, only a very small number have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins that maintain their original luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks are highly prized by collectors. Mint state coins graded MS 65 or higher are rare, and the most exceptional examples are extremely scarce, making them a prized find for anyone lucky enough to hold one. Some of the most coveted varieties from 1974 are double die errors. On these coins, doubling can appear on Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or even the date. While faint doubling can be easy to miss, strong double dies are bold and visually striking, almost as if the coin's design has been stamped twice slightly off-kilter. These coins are incredibly desirable because they are unique and represent a moment when the minting process produced something truly exceptional. Other notable errors include off-center strikes, where the design does not fully land on the planchet, leaving dramatic blank spaces. Clipped planchets, in which a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to irregular blanks, are also highly collectible. Die cracks and cuds can appear as raised lines or blobs of metal, further adding to the uniqueness of a coin. Even repunched mint marks occasionally occur, especially on Denver and San Francisco coins, producing doubled or misaligned letters that collectors eagerly seek out. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint add another layer of intrigue. These coins were struck with extreme care and feature a mirror-like surface with razor-sharp details. When a proof coin exhibits a doubled die, repunched mint mark, or another anomaly, it becomes particularly valuable. Collectors prize these proofs not only for their perfection but also for their rarity, as they were produced in smaller quantities than circulation coins. Condition is a crucial factor in the value of the 1974 quarter. Many quarters from this year have worn surfaces, dulled details, and faded luster due to decades of handling. In contrast, mint state red examples, which retain their original brilliance, are incredibly rare and highly sought after. These coins are often the centerpiece of high-end collections and can command significant premiums at auctions. The 1974 Washington quarter also represents an interesting period in U.S. coinage history. This was a time when the mint was carefully refining its processes and coin collecting was becoming more popular than ever. Variations and anomalies in coins became more visible to collectors, sparking a growing interest in identifying rare examples. Each coin from this era tells a story, not just of the metal and design, but of the historical and economic context in which it was produced. Collectors often hunt through boxes of change, rolls, and old coin stashes hoping to find the one coin that stands apart from the rest. And when a high-grade 1974 quarter with a significant error or exceptional condition is found, it can command astonishing prices. The thrill of discovery, combined with the coin's story and rarity, makes collecting these quarters a deeply rewarding experience. Every sharp strike, every subtle error, and every well-preserved detail contributes to the coin's allure. Now, after examining its design, history, and the many fascinating minting errors, it's time to reveal the part every collector anticipates: the value. While most 1974 Washington quarters are worth just 25 cents, the rarest and most exceptional examples, particularly those in top grade or with notable errors, can achieve incredible prices. Among these extraordinary coins, one remarkable 1974 Washington quarter has reached the astonishing value of $76,000. Yes, a single quarter from 1974, something that might have been casually dropped into a pocket or tucked away in a drawer, has proven to be worth $76,000. It's a powerful reminder that even the most ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value, history, and intrigue. So, the next time you come across a 1974 Washington quarter, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look at the date, the mint mark, the sharpness of the details, and any potential errors. You may be holding more than just a coin. You could be holding a rare piece of American history and a potential treasure. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the world of the 1974 Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another exciting story about coins with hidden value. Remember, the next incredible discovery could already be in your hands.